How many times and where do we run to when we are in total mess? Where do we run to? Where do we run to? And I want to ask the young people of our country, where should we run to? When we are in a mess, where should we run to? It matters. Sometimes where we run to may not be the right place to run to. We cannot be anti-God and succeed in anything we can want to do. We cannot rise up and look down on the God who created you and expect that God to solve your issues. Of course, He solves them anyway because He's God. There are certain things, friends, that we may not explain. They are only within the sovereignty of God, and God is the one who has the capacity to explain them fully. The miracles that are happening over here and what we see, I cannot understand, but this God, I want to let you know that our God leaves people who are so low. This woman was so low, everything was against her. Even to that, above all, she was extremely poor and she was afraid of her only hope in terms of children being sold as slaves. But God intervened in her situation by giving her wealth that she had not worked for, by giving her promotion she had not asked, by lifting her to a point she had not expected, by exalting her up in the ladder of the social status she had not even dreamed of. A poor widow woman being unleashed on the platform of millionaires and being a chain supplier of the precious oil with no mathematical understanding, with no degree in business and entrepreneurship, but yet became the latest entrepreneur in town, the richest among the rich in the society, a woman of excellence, value and reputation, a woman who feared the Lord, doing business in the fear of God, from the wealth that nobody can explain. It is a miracle. A divine intervention. A God who lifts the humble from their humbleness and elevates them to a point in society. The society looked down on women in the first place. And in that case, becoming even a widow, it was worse. And that being poor, it was extremely. Everything was against her. In fact, everything never worked seemingly for her. But yet God chooses to use all those impossibly, even seemingly impossible situations to act one divine act of a miracle to restore life to the best level that she had never anticipated. She knew her hope was done. She knew her husband, who was maybe a source of livelihood, it was gone. She knew now the only remaining hope, children, they are going. And she was literally to her last moments of hope. Yet God intervenes. May that God intervene in our circumstances. May that God be lifted up to a point of even lifting some of us who are looked down in society, some of us who are actually betrayed in society, some of us who actually are beyond the brokenness. May that God intervene in our circumstances. May He intervene in our situations. It doesn't matter how far you have gone. Your case will be impossible, but that's before man. But God is a God of possibilities. What seemingly is impossible to man is possible with God. That's why our God is unique. He is not like the God of those one other religions. He is a living God. He is a God of actually new beginnings. A God of restoration. A God of possibilities. possibilities. Our God who is a miracle worker and a sovereign in that matter, meaning he does what he wishes to do at any given time to anyone. You don't need to apply for him to be considered, but you just need to believe for a consideration. Some of us will say, but I am believing always. Yes, he is at work. Don't worry.